the time is upon us for the G3. Tim's baby, the G3. Goofy gun grabbers. Take it away, sir.
All right, so this one comes from Bad Weapons Takes, pro-gun, but they're having a conversation on X. And of course, the gun grabbers have to chime in and spread their wisdom, their vast knowledge of firearms, all things gun related, because they're having a conversation about policy, changing laws and things like that. And so the gun grabbers come in with their nonsense. And then, of course, we push back with facts. And so if you could throw up number 22, Doc. Here we have a post from Zora, and this is in response to OpenWire. And again, this was captured by our friends over at Bad Weapons Takes. And Zora says, I think a gun that is so destructive that it can't be used in hunting really doesn't belong in the hands of anyone without extremely special training, licensing, and a clean record. Now, they're talking about the amazingly destructive power of the AR-15. Recently, we made fun of another goofy gun grabber because she believed a video that Grand Thumb put out where they shot a ballistics dummy with a howitzer was really an AR-15 exploding the dummy. And so this is kind of the moronic position that these gun grabbers find themselves in. And then they want to argue that they should be setting policy based upon their ignorance of firearms, but their ignorance doesn't really matter, right? They still should have a say. And so OpenWire responds, which gun specifically are you talking about? And the part I just showed based on a submachine gun technology doesn't belong in private hands. And then she resorts back to not answering the question, but you're doing the same thing he was doing. Nobody with a brain really gives a poop about the specs. The real concern is that the guns can be duplicate. The guns can decapitate a child. Duplicate a child. They can decapitate a child. If it was used in hunting capacity, it would destroy the meat. Being a gun wonk isn't required to have a say. So gun wonk is, equivalent to being a gun person. And so, yes, I mean, now she's repeating the narrative that AR-15s destroy meat. Another false narrative put forth by the gun grabbers. The AR-15 is just so incredibly destructive. It blows, vaporizes the animal up. You can't even eat it after you shoot it with this little pud round. Therefore, it should be banned. Yeah. And of course, she just keeps regurgitating this nonsense and then saying we still should have a say. That, in my mind, is very similar to, me being against being against cars and wanting all cars banned. And I don't know anything about cars. And so I as my example for a car being banned would be, well, they carry like 20 gallons of gasoline. And when they get into a collision, they detonate with explosive force 10 times that of Hiroshima. It's just unbelievable. And women and children is burned to a crisp and the blast radius consumes miles. Therefore, we need to ban cars. And then somebody goes, well, that's not really true. Don't tell me, car wonk. I still should have a say in policy. It's just...
That's a very good example. 10 times the explosive power of Hiroshima, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's the cars. It's the cars.
It is the cars. It's the cars, stupid. It's the effing cars. You know what I love about these arguments that we fight all the time, Tim? You can always use the exact same things they say to us in their little one-liners. You just change the topic and it sounds just as stupid.
It does. But what's amazing, it still doesn't clue them into their own stupidity. Look at this Zora. She's just doubling down on stupid. You gun wonk. I may not know what I'm talking about, but I still get a say.
But we know that they are a viewer because I think that one actually was inspired by The View. What is that woman's name? Why can I not think? Joy Behar. Joy Behar is the one that said that on TV in all seriousness, to millions of people. Why would you even hunt with the AR-15? Because the AR just destroys everything. Yeah. There's nothing left.
It's a death ray. It vaporizes things. You can't eat what you don't have. You just blew it away.
Yeah. Like, why are you even hunting? Now you're a masochist.
Yeah. Now you're just killing for fun. Yeah.
That's just stupid. Oh, but you know what? Going on to silliness, Tim.
This one's yours.
May I have permission? May I have permission to present? Oh, thank you so much. So this came from Mom's Man Action, and I just wanted to highlight this because this is one of their favorite things to say, but I really like the way in which they presented it. Here we go. So from MDA, this says Shannon's fingerprints all over it. Salty Shannon. The U.S. is awash in guns. Our question for the gun lobby. I want to know if we're the gun lobby, by the way. When will they start making us safer? This holiday season, fork over the facts. So here's what they present, Tim. This is just giggles me. Myth. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Fact. if more guns everywhere made us safer, America would be the safest country on earth. Instead, we have a gun homicide rate 26 times that of other high-income countries. So the first thing that I want to highlight here, it's a myth that a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun when you call the police when a bad guy with a gun is doing something and they bring said gun. Also, the 2 million defenses per year of individual citizens privately who defend themselves against crime per year. But then they start throwing out 26 times the national rate and all that. But they seem to forget, Tim, that if you just removed certain cities in the United States, that actually falls to like the United States being ranked around, I think, like 29th or 30th in the well-developed nations. But it's weird. They didn't tell you that.
Yeah, but that's
odd?
That's the fault of states like Indiana. Because of our lax gun laws, these other states have violence problems. It's our fault. It's the guns.
That's right, because that's what Chris Murphy said.
But here's the other thing. Yes. If she's arguing that more guns don't reduce crime, then how does she explain the decades-long trend of violent crime going down while gun ownership is going way up?
Yeah.
She seems they always seem to ignore that fact because, it doesn't help them, does it?
That's weird.
But that's an absolute fact. And that's been documented by a number of different groups, including FBI
us.
And everybody else. So it's not a pro-gun talking point. It's just the facts. We have decades-long trend of downward violent trends. And then we have, just in the last 3 years, gun ownership has spiked through the roof to points that we've never seen before in American history. And yet her argument is that guns make us less safe.
Well, yeah, meanwhile, some more facts to pour on top of that delicious turkey that they put us out here. Yeah, so we've had the highest ranking of guns in a home polling that's ever existed since the polling began. Mm-hmm. You've got more gun buying across the board, and you just hit a 4-year low of homicides and suicides via gun in the United States, pre-pandemic levels. I didn't see a meme on that one for forking over during the holiday season. There's something for you to fork on. Yep.
You just got to love their facts. Their facts aren't facts at all. They just make them up.
They're not facts.
If it sounds good and they think it'll push the narrative forward, then that's what they're going to go with.
Exactly.
Logic and reason and facts rarely seep into the conversation when it's coming from the other side of the aisle. But so this just kind of illustrates their moronic behavior. You got two to choose from there. Either one of those are good for showing the idiocy of the gun grabbers.
Right. You know what we should do, though?
What's that?
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should do gun buybacks. That'll help.
We should do meme buybacks.
Oh, genius. See? Penny per meme.
We have to buy this meme back from Moms Demand Action. But then we're just going to take...
That's why you're the CFO.
We're just going to take one piece of the meme and destroy it, and then we're going to repurpose the rest of it. So...
tying it back to an earlier segment.
All right.
That is professional YouTube right there. Take us out.
All right. We are done for the day, folks. Thank you for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.